Hi everybody, this is Liam Martin from Running Remote, and in today's video, I thought I would go over a little bit of interesting stuff here. I have got a notebook breaking down a really well-written article by our previous head of content, Mike LaRosa, on moving on to other opportunities that are not running remote. And it was such a really interesting article. I thought I would just go over it with you guys and break down what he learned working in a remote first organization for 4 months, and more specifically working in a remote first organization that specifically is trying to help facilitate remote work around the world. So he calls his article "One Personal, One Professional." And for those of you that don't know, we run something called Entrepreneur Operating System in all the companies that I work on. And inside of that, there's this methodology called the Level 10 meeting. So at the end of every meeting, you have all of the team members rank the meeting out of 10. And if everyone ranks at a 10, then that means it's a level 10 meeting. I have never ranked something a level 10 before in my entire life. Reason being is I don't think you can ever achieve perfection, but pretty darn good methodology. And what we do at the beginning of every single meeting is we ask everyone in the team 2 particular questions. What's one personal win and one professional win? So this week, a professional win was me actually getting all of these videos out on time. It's been a real challenge for me. It is Sunday at 1:32 p.m. If I don't have them done by Monday, I won't have them done for the week, unfortunately. And then my personal is I got a really nice smoker, more specifically a Traeger smoker. I love barbecuing, and that's been something that I've been looking at for a couple months. So we just go around the room and ask that to everyone inside of the organization, and it really gives you a very fast and quick context of some quick wins that everyone accomplished during their work week and during their personal week. So he goes into talking about 2 critical things that he learned at running remote over the last couple months that he's worked there. So I thought I would go over them right now. The first one is poorly managed remote work will become a physical and mental nuclear bomb. I would have to say I pretty much agree with this one, Mike. The reality is right now we're seeing remote work really go from an emergency state to more kind of the regular lifestyle environment that it was before the pandemic hit. So a lot of people now are going to say, okay, are we going back to the office completely? Are we gonna go hybrid? Are we gonna continue working completely remotely? And the next 6 to 18 months are going to be pretty darn wild. One of the biggest things, however, is poorly managing remote work environments will absolutely push people back into the office, or at the least to a hybrid model. So one of the things that's really important is to be able to make sure that you follow up on KPIs, which was the entire point of this blog post that Mike put together, which is having something in place like clear quantitative KPIs, having something like the level 10 meeting system in place so that everyone is synced up and understands what everyone else is doing, what rocks they're trying to crack, what tasks they're working on, how their work week is going, and if they're succeeding or failing at their particular projects is so critical for everyone to move forward. And again, this can be done inside of an office, but because there are the challenges of like Zoom and people being disconnected through space and time, you have to make a little bit more of an effort than you do inside of a on-premise in-office team. And if you don't, it's going to create serious problems long-term. So that was a really good point. The next one that I have is there is no singular remote work solution that will universally work, nor is there a remote work expert with all of the answers. Except for me, right, Mike? I hope so. So there is no singular remote work solution that will universally work. Totally correct on this one. Here's the biggest thing that I learned with 4 years of the Running Remote conference under my belt. I've been able to interact with the absolute top experts in remote work all over planet Earth. I've been able to talk to more billionaire valuation remote workers than I think almost anyone. And here's the one thing that they all have in common. No one knows what they're doing. Everyone is doing something different. Every one of those experts would probably disagree with a core tenet of someone else's methodology on how to build and scale a remote team. And that was one of the things that really kind of blew me away, particularly pre-pandemic, which was my big aha moment was it doesn't really matter how you're building a remote team or even whether you're getting it right. The truth of the matter is that you actually don't need to build a remote team that well, because building a remote team is such a huge machine to improve the overall velocity and productivity of your organization that even if you get half the stuff wrong, you actually will still end up saving more money and being more productive than when you started. So that's such an interesting insight, and it's one that I'm constantly relearning every single month that I work at running remote, because the reality is just going remote is such a huge tactical and strategic advantage inside of the marketplace. It doesn't matter whether you do it right. And the vast majority of the time, pretty much everyone that you talk to is not doing it perfectly or doing it differently. And on top of that, that goes again for the experts like me. You know, we don't know everything. This is a relatively new space. I had about 1 month into the pandemic, I remember a very, very large government approaching me, asking me for advice on how to take their hundreds of thousands of employees remote. And I mean, I said, well, listen, I have no idea how to take hundreds of thousands of people remote. It's never really been done before. And they said, great, but you know, we're not seeing anyone else that's done it either. So you're the guy. And I think that that's just so 2020 and 2021. We're at this space right now that is so unprecedented towards remote work. And I think probably in the last year, we've had more growth in remote work than in the entire previous history of remote work. And we're probably going to see another crazy year like that moving forward. So everything's gonna change. None of these experts know everything. We're just at the first inning really of remote work. And now we're just entering the time in which large remote companies are going to start to become actual things in the market. So this is another announcement that I'd like to put down. We are looking for a new head of content at Running Remote. If you are interested in writing about remote work and you're really passionate about the subject, please pop it down in the comments below. I'd love to be able to talk to you. We have so much work, we don't know what to do with all of it, and we'd really love some more people to help us out with that. So if you think you are that person, comment down below, and if you're not subscribed, I won't talk to you. That seemed a little harsh, but it's the truth. Subscribe to this YouTube channel, like this video, and then comment down asking for a job, and you very well might get one. Anyways, I'll see you in the next video. See you later, bye.